All right, we're back for round 2. And I'm not just saying that in the pun way that we're back for another episode. Yeah, we're actually excuse my bad jokes, all right? Excuse my bad jokes, all right?
Your jokes are terrible, Tyler.
Let's start it off in the West this time. All right?
St. Louis.
We're gonna start it off with the Dallas and St. Louis series. Ryan, What are you thinking? What are you thinking, buddy?
It was a good series. It was a very good series. You know, watching that game 7, I was watching it with Tyler and a few other buddies, and that's double overtime it was, right, Tyler? Watching that game 7, it was a blast. Got to relax with a few buddies, Cameron, Tyler. It was awesome. Watching the double overtime, my heart was just like going as fast as it possibly could. I had my Blues jersey on. Even though I'm from Pittsburgh, the Blues have a special place in my heart. They scored. I went crazy. People were sleeping in my house, so I was trying not to wake them up. And I just said, I yelled. And everybody was mad at me, but it was a great series. It was a great series to watch. Both teams had an amazing night.
And can I just...
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just mention something first? Did you guys hear the fans in the first overtime? Like, it was like 10 minutes to go on like the first overtime.
Oh man, I knew you were gonna talk about that.
They were saying, "Take me off." I'm not gonna sing it. I'm not gonna sing it because it's copyright. But they were singing "Take Me Home, Country Roads."
That whole game,
John Denver.
Take me home, country road, to the place I belong.
But you know what? It was such a great game. You know, the fans were into it. I thought personally, I'm gonna say this, even though Bishop wasn't the first star of the game, Ben Bishop played his heart out in that game. You know, the guy was fighting to stay alive in that whole series, and you know what? It was so. Even Ben Bishop's mother, who was there in St. Louis, was just completely. I felt so bad for her because she was just completely heartbroken after that. You saw her reaction during the game, which we can link that actually into the description. But man, even Ben Bishop's mother was just so heartbroken that they lost, and just such a diehard fan. Ben Bishop played one of the best games that he's ever played.
Yeah, he definitely did.
And you know what? Honestly, just we love you, Bish. Let's talk about the overtime. Ryan was biting his nails. Like, if you guys would have been there to see it, it was funny listening to him. He was pacing around his room, biting his nails. Yeah,
I was praying to the hockey gods.
Yeah,
praying to John Denver.
I got my terrible towel.
Praying to John Denver.
I got my Goons of Pittsburgh rally towel. Shout out to Goons of Pittsburgh on Instagram.
Take me home, country roads in your head. You were like, almost.
Yeah, I was seeing it.
West Virginia. Okay, keep going.
Yes, but just an eventful overtime. You know, it ended up being Patrick Maroon. I thought it was Vince Dunn who put it in, and Ryan almost called it too.
No, Robert Thomas actually shot it, and then it was.
Yeah, it was. Ryan almost called it. He said it was going to be Vince Dunn who scored it. Dunn was on the ice, but we realized we thought it was Robert Thomas who scored, but Maroon got the rebound and stuck that thing right in the back of the net. Off go the Stars. Blues move on. That was a crazy overtime.
Yeah. So all right, hold on. So the goal was scored, and I was kind of just sitting in my bed, confused, like I have no idea what happened. And then I saw like Patrick Maroon jump and started skating, and I'm like, yeah, go, yeah. Can we get a bleep on that, Tyler?
Yeah, I can bleep that out. Yeah,
almost.
Oh man, what a crazy game! You know,
I love a game.
Oh man, that was probably the game of the first round or the second round. Anyway,
game of the playoffs. Yeah.
Moving on, San Jose and Colorado.
Yeah. Colorado.
Oh, listen, man.
And John
sometimes
Denver.
you gotta...
And John Denver. And John Denver.
I saw the pun
John
you did there.
Denver.
I see what you did there, Cameron. Denver.
John
Yeah, I got
Denver.
you. I got you.
Almost
I got you.
heaven.
Yeah,
West
I got you.
Virginia.
Anyways, but yeah, what an incredible game 7 for those two teams too. Oh my, like breathtaking. That whole thing between the Avalanche and the Sharks, that series was, what's the word? We out here, boys. It was a bloodbath.
Eh.
It was a bloodbath.
I've seen better blood blast. Blood blast. Blood blast, boys. You heard
Anyways, but yeah. So the
blood blast.
The scorers for Colorado were Tyson Jost, who had 1 goal and 2 shots. Go Rantanen, who had 1 goal on 3 shots.
And then we're going to talk about this disallowed goal. Okay. What were the freaking coaches doing on that? What were the coaches doing? Oh, yeah. Don't even bother just helping Gabriel Landeskog trying to open the freaking door and get off the freaking ice. And, you know, the game would have been tied. And we probably would have been going to overtime in Game 7. But did that happen? No, because they have a freaking idiotic, stupid coaching staff. Oh, yeah, no, you just saw in the picture one of the assistant coaches over there just picking his freaking nose. Not even doing freaking anything. Oh, yeah, just trying to look for boogers.
Bring back Waugh.
Trying to look for freaking boogies. You know, just it's
he's looking for the boogeyman.
He's looking for the
he's
boogeyman.
looking for DeMarcus Cousins.
And I'm coming to get you.
Cousins. Anyways, but you get my.
He's looking for where the rest of the Raptors team
instead
went.
of helping Landeskog off the ice, you know, he's kind of a big deal. You know, he's your captain.
He was offside on the play. He was offside on the play. Because nobody bought. There was players in front of him, and they weren't helping him. I mean, hello.
Anyway, so Joe Pavelski gets the first goal of the game for the Sharks, followed by Jonas Donskoy. And who scores the game winner? Tomas Hertl!
Wasn't it Hertl? Was it Hertl?
Looking back at that game, what an incredible game.
Great game.
Like, just, it made hockey fun again to watch. The St. Louis game and the San Jose game easily were the best games in round 2.
Best series in round 2.
Those 2 game 7s were easily the best games in round 2. And, you know, despite what happened to, despite what happened to Gabriel Landeskog being offside for that goal, oh no, man, that was, doesn't matter. I think they both played absolutely amazing. You know, the Sharks deserve to be where they are. And, you know, it's the Eastern Conference or Western Conference Finals where they are. So, great job for San Jose. We're doing what we got to do.
Moving on to the... All right, anyways, we're moving on to the East, boys. We're moving on to the East.
You were going to say East, Tyler.
We're going to start it off with the Boston and Columbus series.
Oh, the East. Ugh. I hate both teams.
It was Donskoy who scored the game winner. It was. But yes. So, moving on to the East. Columbus and Boston. That series was a bloodbath. That was a literal bloodbath. Yeah, McAvoy, that was a perfect suspension for McAvoy. I think that, you know, he didn't leave his feet.
Okay, the one that I don't get. The one that I don't get, though, game number 3, at the end of game number 3, Marchand's a dick.
You mean the punch to Scott Harrington's head? I had a different opinion. I had a different opinion on that before, but after watching it a couple times, it really shouldn't have been anything more than a fine. Considering the fact that Harrington was not injured, it's a penalty that should just be a 2-minute minor, pretty much. That's my opinion on it. I'm not trying to say. I'm not trying to say
Yeah,
he did the right thing there. I'm just trying to say that it wasn't as bad as everybody was making it out to be. Everybody made it out to be worse because it's
I'm
Martian.
gonna say this right now. Martian, not. I'm gonna say this right now. Martian in game number 1. We're not gonna talk about that yet, but it was a couple. I think it was in game 1 in the Eastern Conference Final. But some Bruins guy went after like somebody, and Marchand pulled him aside. And do you ever usually see him do that? No.
Yeah, we'll get to that shortly, but you know what? It kind of struck me because I realized something. Thomas Plekanec actually, after the game, went on Twitter and tweeted out, "Where have I seen that punch before?" If you remember, it was the 2013 playoffs. It was Montreal and Boston.
Yep.
It was Montreal, or the 2015. I believe it was the 2015 playoffs. Montreal and Boston. Brad Marchand did the same thing to Thomas Plekanec as he did to Scott Harrington.
Yep, and there was nothing.
So he's used that punch before. That was a kind of I completely forgot about that happened. But just Marchand, man, like it's confusing with him because sometimes he acts like, oh yeah, I don't want to be the bully, but yet he can be the dirtiest player on ice. Like it's crazy. But, such is how it goes. Boston would end up winning that series 4-2. That's just how she goes. The Jerks and the Hurricanes, the Hurricanes and the Islanders.
Carolina ends up sweeping the Islanders.
But how ironic. They sweep the Penguins and they get swept by the Hurricanes. Cameron, is that not the most ironic thing you've ever heard of?
I really don't know. The Islanders go from sweeping.
How the Islanders
Last date I
and
had
the
was a
Hurricanes.
court date.
Oh, there we go. He's back. There we go, Cameron. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
The Hurricane, the Islanders go from sweeping. The Islanders go from sweeping the Penguins to getting swept by the Hurricanes.
In Cameron's head, he's piecing together, how does a team who swept, how did the sweepers become the swept?
Yeah,
he's doing his multiplication. He's just like, how does this happen?
It makes absolutely negative 100%.
He's doing long division. He's just like, how the hell did Carolina sweep the Islanders? After they just got swept.
How?
After they just swept. That was, again, how does Carolina keep surprising us like this? They beat Washington, they swept the Islanders, and now they're down 2-0 to Boston. Like, what's going on here?
I'm
going to call it right now. It's going to be the reverse sweep train. It's going to be the reverse sweep train. The Islanders sweep the Penguins, the Hurricanes sweep the Islanders, the Bruins sweep the Hurricanes.
And then they get swept.
And then they get swept by whoever wins the cup.
Louis.
Yes. So that was a crazy series again. Like, congrats to Carolina for making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. First time since 2009, which was it was against Pittsburgh, if I'm correct.
Yes, it was.
That's
where the famous Mike Lang saying, "Oh, Cam Ward just lost his liquor license" came from. The goal that caused that was the Malkin spinorama.
That was yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What was it? Dude, I know this is totally off topic, guys. We're just having a conversation here. But I still remember the goal when Evgeny Malkin went through the whole Tampa Bay freaking Lightning team.
I was at that game.
And freaking put it 5-hole on Dwayne Rolosi.
Oh, I was at that game. That was a great game. Another thing I want to talk about.
That goal is just so iconic. It was just so good.
I saw a
I
tweet.
love that goal.
I saw a tweet.
And also, oh Ryan, you know what? Keep going.
Yeah, I saw a tweet that said maybe the reason Carolina was playing so hard is because they wanted revenge for 2009. Oh wait.
Oh no!
And then, anyways, but what I was saying was another good Penguins goal. There's two of them actually. I think this was in the 2008 playoffs. I'm pretty. Malkin just gets hit by
Mike Richards.
by a
By
fly
Mike Richards.
by Mike
And then
Richards.
he steps back and
Mike
claps
Richards.
it.
And then he's just like he just waits for a fucking pass and he goes in on a breakaway. It's fucking claps it on friggin' Miron.
Anyways,
And then here's the other one. And then the other one, I believe it was last year or was it this year? And then it was another goal by Malkin. And he did like a spinorama goal. And it goes like off the bar. You could hear like the crossbar. Just a sweet sound of the.
just some beautiful goals. But I mean, again, Carolina just making it to the conference finals for the first time in 10 years. That's huge for the city of Raleigh.
That is definitely,
Hurricanes fans, which they remember when it went from no fans to like a packed house.
And by the way, this is a fun fact: the Hurricanes had the longest current NHL playoff drought in the National Hockey League. But do they have it now? And then they broke it just this year, and now the longest. Fun fact is the Buffalo
Big
Sabres,
surprise.
who have not made it. Buffalo Sabres, who have not made it since 2011. That was when they made it to the. I want to say did they make it to the second round?
It was.
I think it was the second round, and they got eliminated by the Bruins. Yeah, it was because the Bruins beat the Canadians in the first round.
It was yes. It was
Who did the Sabres
semifinals?
beat?
It was the Bruins and the Flyers second round, so that was the semifinals.
Oh,
no, it was not. Montreal, Boston. It was Philadelphia and Buffalo first round. The Flyers
and the Sabres.
The Flyers won that series in Game 7.
Wow!
It was a 5-2 win. Oh, but yeah, that was. It wouldn't. You know what would be hilarious, Cameron?
I thought the Sabres got eliminated by the.
It was against Philly. You know what would be really funny though? Carolina, since they had the longest playoff drought, if they came back and just won the cup first year they got back into the playoffs.
I mean, at this point, the way they are playing currently in this series, I don't see it happening.
You never know.
The Bruins have just got their.
That moves us on to the current position in the conference finals. So in the Eastern Conference Finals, Boston takes Game 1 5-2 against Carolina. That was on Thursday, and yesterday, which was Mother's Day. Oh yeah! By the time you're seeing this, we are recording this on May 13th. This is a bad luck day. We're not going to talk about that though. Anyways, so it was on Mother's Day, a showdown. The Bruins beat the Hurricanes 6-2, and it was San Jose and St. Louis in Game 1. San Jose obviously took that one. That was another crazy game. So you know what? The conference finals are looming. Both games were a beatdown. One of them was a beatdown in Beantown, and the other one was a beatdown in San Jose. So yes, that was the conference finals. We are going to do the best to kind of to break down the conferences live when they happen, the next few games when they happen. Next I believe tomorrow night's game we'll be able to cover. We might actually do a YouTube live stream. We'll see. But we're gonna do the best that we can to keep covering the game. So, and then we'll definitely be covering the Stanley Cup final. That's absolutely for sure. But it's been a gruesome playoff so far. It's been an upset season to say the least, and that's just where we're at. So next episode, we're going to be breaking down a few things. Recent success of the Blues. We're going to be breaking down the top free agents coming up in the 2019 offseason and many more stuff. So just keep that in mind. This episode is going to be over now. Cameron, Ryan, thank you for joining me once again. If you guys like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Hit like if you really like the video as well, so we can start doing more episodes. Thank you guys again for watching. This has been your host, Tyler Rains, alongside Cameron Reeser and Ryan Gatto. Thank you once more.